the headlines, the newspapers, we were going out today, and it's all about one thing. It's not about the cup final. It's about the future of Erik ten Hag, the manager of Manchester United, across the board, and it's dominated social media, especially since yesterday. Do you think this is his final game in charge, Kit?
I think so. Everything's pointing towards that. The fact that they're talking to other people already quite openly, really, you know, not trying to make any secret of it. I think it's become very, very difficult for him now, and I personally think it probably will be his last game.
Yeah. Like same what Kit said there. You know, all the noise coming out from the footballing world is saying that this, you know, is potentially his last game. You know, they've not had a great season, and I don't think many would be shocked to see him go. But I'm not sure whether sacking him is the right answer. You know, sometimes you think the grass is always greener, and it can get worse. So I don't know what's best for the club. But you know, today is a chance for, if it is his last game, to go out on a high.
But is it the right decision to make? I look at what he's had to handle over the last 2 or so years that he's been in charge, 2 full seasons at least. The Ronaldo interview with Piers Morgan, the Greenwood situation, Jadon Sancho and his social media. I could stand here for 10 minutes and list out problem after problem. And I'm thinking, if he wins a trophy here today, it's the FA Cup. He won a trophy last year. It was the League Cup, 2 major trophies in the bag.
I mean, exactly what you say, Adam, whether it's the right or wrong decisions, he's had so much to put up with and deal with. And having been a manager myself, I realise how difficult it is and the position you find yourself in. But I think there does come a time when it almost gets too much and your position becomes untenable. And unfortunately, I think that's pretty much what United have come to now with Ten Hag in charge.
Yeah, there's been a number of things off the pitch, out of his control, that he's had to deal with, and you know that happen as a manager, and you've got to learn to adapt. But it just feels like for Erik, it's just been one thing after another, constant, you know, battling with the results on the pitch, battling with things off the pitch. So maybe he's tired of having to deal with those kind of things, and you know, it might be best for everyone if he does go. But if he stays, you know, I think he's shown potential. Last year they did quite well, I thought, and I thought they was going to build from that, and it's not worked out this year.
I think they're 15 points worse off this season. Remember last campaign, they ended up in a Champions League position. Yeah. So there's been a decline on that front. But when you're looking at the football, when you're looking at what they're doing on the pitch, do you think it's the right decision to let him go or not? Because off-field issues are one thing, but it's still within his remit to do and operate this team on the pitch.
I mean, it is 100%, but he'll say about the injuries. That's what and he does say about the injuries. It's a big thing now. Other managers, other clubs have to deal with this situation as well. But you look at the number of permutations they've had within a back four, like 33 different permutations within a back four throughout the course of the season is unbelievable. It's unprecedented. So, as we're saying, he's had an awful lot to deal with. It's not been easy for him, but ultimately the club have to make the right decision for the long-term future.
There's also been a long list of names linked to take over. A few months ago, Gareth Southgate's name was on that. Should he leave England after the Euros? More recently, Thomas Tuchel, Mauricio Pochettino has suddenly become available. Kieran McKenna, who's done a wonderful job at Ipswich, getting them back-to-back promotions and now into the top flight come August. Thomas Frank even. If a new manager comes into play, who do you think it should be?
It's a tough one. Really tough question, because I don't know if it's the manager that's causing all the issues. You know, the players have got to take responsibility. You know, all the stuff with the ownership, players getting in trouble outside the pitch. It's been a lot outside of his control that's ultimately affected what he's. I don't know. It's impossible for me to say. I think this person should be a manager.
I mean, I think the conundrum is as well, a lot of other clubs will be after these managers you just mentioned. So United, if they're going to make the change, need to get the exact person they want, and they'll need to act quite fast. Otherwise, people will be going to other clubs and taking other jobs. So it's a bit of a conundrum. If you jump, you need to jump pretty sharply to make sure you get the man you really want, who's going to take the club forward. If you leave it too long and dilly-dally a little bit, he'll be gone somewhere else.
Well, they've done that with Pochettino before, in the past. But you're thinking of the names there who have been at big clubs. It's pretty much Pochettino and Tuchel especially. PSG, Chelsea, Bayern Munich. Those would be the likely names in that sense. But McKenna, is it too big a job, do you feel, too fast? Even though he has a history of the club.
Yeah, you feel for him in particular, because you know, it's a massive job so early in his career, and you know, it's make or break at that stage. Like the Tuchel, Pochettino, they go to a club now, they don't do so well. It's not, obviously it looks bad on them, but it's not detrimental for him. McKenna, I think it's a bit too soon for him. But the likes of Pochettino, like you're saying, if you don't go quick, somebody will be in for him within the next few weeks or however long. So it's a decision that I think they've already made in the Manchester United camp.
I mean, also, I think what's quite interesting is what the structure's going to be like now within the club. With Ineos now, the money coming in from that, and the restructuring.
And a lot of City staff now working there.
Oh, yes, exactly. But how it's actually going to be is now the first team coach, manager, as we used to call him, going to just be in charge of the team. In which case, is someone like Kieran McKenna for sure has done a fantastic job. Whereby the manager, Sir Alex, used to run the whole football club. I think it'd be a very different model now.
Get him back.
Yeah.